Hello and welcome. You may have already seen on my socials, but if you are new here, we are in the midst of a renovation. So I thought while the house is completely upside down, I will take you around, give you an empty-ish house tour, and then we can essentially go through the renovations together. I have already posted a completely empty house tour on Instagram, so I will link that below if you would like to go and watch that. The original plan was to only stay here for 5 years because Ro is originally from Yorkshire. We really wanted to move up north. We want a big garden, we want to get ducks, like that is the dream. But we've now been here for coming up to 2 years and we've actually completely fallen in love with the area. So we've essentially decided to put more effort into this place with the idea that it could be a potential forever home. That means that essentially all the DIY we've done in the last couple of years, we're ripping out to do again. In the beginning, we were kind of cutting corners, just making things look better, but we didn't want to put too much money into it because we had the idea that we weren't going to be here for very long. But now we want to do everything properly. We have so many exciting plans, so let's get into it. So we'll start in the kitchen. That's actually due to arrive in a couple days. We had the kitchen in here, and then this side was a carpeted dining space. We have finished paneling the ceiling, but we still need to beadboard this wall, the coffee corner, and then some of this wall will be beadboard as well. We are getting rid of these tiles, and then we're putting some new tiles in as we have a big mantle going up over here. Whilst we do love these ones, we have a heart set on some really pretty floral ones from Cornerstone. It kind of looks like little pieces of the garden brought inside, which we love because we want everything to look like a little fairy garden. This is literally all we have left of the kitchen. So washing machine, dishwasher is still connected. We then have the sink, and this is our lovely temporary kitchen setup.
Tower of appliances that actually works really well.
Very space efficient. My desk will be going in here, which is just 2 shorter units. And then coming round here, we'll have a coffee corner. I'm thinking of putting some shelves in here. We have some really lovely lights from Dowsing & Reynolds, some pretty little delicate wall sconces that will go there. We'll then have fridge freezer, and then a big corner larder unit, which I'm so excited for because we'll have plenty of storage. This is next on my to-do list before the kitchen arrives. I need to remove the door frame, and then I'd love to turn this into an archway, so we'll keep this nice and open. We have a big brass radiator going in here, which will look beautiful and match the other brass hardware. And then the washing machine is actually moving to this end of the room, so this evening I actually need to chase the floor for the new washing machine waste pipe, which I think is like the biggest, well I say biggest, the whole thing has been a big project, but it's one of the biggest, potentially messiest jobs.
It's going to make a right mess. There's going to be dust everywhere again.
Hence my
lovely curtain.
And then over here we'll have oven, hob, like I said, pretty mantle going up over, full-size dishwasher, which we're so excited for, Belfast sink for that proper cottage feel, and then just a little cupboard on the end. I'm also thinking of cladding this wall with sandstone brick slips. We have an island that will be going in the middle. We have the most beautiful quartz worktops coming from Anything Stone in Swindon. They're in spider gold, which again will match the brass hardware. And then we have 2 lovely pendant lights from Next going above the island, which will be like the focal point, which I'm so excited to get it in and get it finished. I think that's everything for this room, so come on through to the living room. This room, as you can see, is completely upside down. This is our temporary kitchen, workspace, living room.
It's a dumping ground. Yeah. Let's be honest, it's a complete dumping ground.
Hopefully for not much longer. We have big plans for this room, which we weren't going to do until later down the line. But very excitingly, we have a new sofa coming in, I think it's about 6 weeks.
At some point in the future, and we have a lot of things to do.
At some point in the very near future, we have a sofa coming. So we've decided to do this room at the same time as the kitchen, which is probably stupid, but once it's finished, we can just sit down and relax and have 2 spaces where we spend most of our time. that's actually done, which will be lovely. The new sofa will actually come out a lot further than this one. It's going to be bigger than this one. That's coming from Darlings of Chelsea. At the moment, this one pulls out to a bed that just kind of makes this a big rectangle, whereas the new one will have like a proper mattress style sofa bed, which will be lovely. It's also in a stain resistant herringbone fabric, which would be great for the dogs. We just want this space to be full of texture and we say colour, mostly green, millennial green. We just want it to look like a cottage. We want plenty of pattern and lots of richness to this space. Because it's a living room, we want it to be cosy. We really would like to get some pretty windows in here with monkey tail handles and the grids to really make them look cottagey. The same sandstone bricks as we'll use in the kitchen, we're going to use on this wall. I did build this not too long ago, but I think I can do a much better job, so I'm thinking of ripping this out. We then have an armchair that goes in here, a really lovely striped armchair from Next.
Doesn't look great at the moment, does it?
We'll see that upstairs. That was actually from Facebook Marketplace. I feel like a lot of stuff we have is from Facebook Marketplace. I'm a little Marketplace fiend.
So
it's a kitchen.
It is a kitchen. It's fantastic having the fridge so close by.
I built this fireplace not too long ago and I already think I could do a much better job. This is actually a pine mantelpiece that we got from Facebook Marketplace, and I've painted it with a stone effect paint. But now I'd like to do a floor to ceiling sandstone brick fireplace, make it look really authentic. We got this stove from B&Q, which is really lovely. Unfortunately, we can't have a real fireplace because someone is allergic to
particulate matter.
Yeah, so we can't have candles either, which is a shame.
It's not very cottagey, is it? I'm not very cottagey.
We have Willow's little house.
You have a tenant.
We have a tenant. I love that this is her safe space.
How's it going, baby? You're very cosy in there, aren't you? You feel very safe. Anything ever scares her or she feels uncomfortable, she just runs over here.
That's where she sleeps at night. I still need to decorate it, and then this top half I just built as storage, so we keep some of their dog stuff, treats.
Many balls which were found and then confiscated.
Part of our temporary kitchen setup. These are actually the two wall units which I've drilled together and then
Ultimate bodge.
attached to the banister with some ribbon and a mending plate.
It works.
It works. It's somewhat stable.
Yet to fall down.
Oh my gosh, sorry, because I faced through the window.
Yeah, so one little quirk of Willow's house, for some reason she just loves to thread her face through the window, which you can't quite see because of the cupboards in place at the moment, but most of the times when we come find her, this is what she's up to.
This floor was the very first time I ever laid vinyl flooring, and I didn't do the best job.
All in all, very solid job for a first timer, I'd say.
I wouldn't say it's too bad.
I'd say it's pretty
I
great.
can do so much better. I know I can do better. So I am actually changing this flooring before the sofa arrives. We've got this really beautiful vinyl click flooring in herringbone coming, so I'm going to give that a go. Hopefully all goes to plan.
Piece of cake for our DIY hazy.
The rug is definitely staying though. We absolutely adore this rug. We bought this from Ruggable literally only a couple months after we moved in, wasn't it? Perfect for muddy puppy paws because it's washable.
Yes.
Although I'm pretty sure it's too big for our washing machine. This was another Facebook Marketplace find.
That is Mary. She's the mahogany sideboard, and the actual pattern you can see is a rarer cut of mahogany. It's called flame mahogany.
We originally wanted to sand it and paint it, and then we got it home and we were like, oh, no,
No,
love her.
beautiful as she is.
I love this mirror as well, another Facebook Marketplace find, but I don't quite like how it's quite gold. I want it to be more of an antique brass, so I might find a spray paint for that and change it. All the interior doors need changing. Again, another Facebook Marketplace find, and the doors don't quite fit the frames, which is why I've tried to fit a latch, but it just wasn't working, so that's a job for another day. And then coming through to the porch, this is a very non-exciting space at the moment. There is plenty to do in here, but it's very much bottom of the priorities list. We do want a new front door, I think a stable door, because Willow is a bit of a psycho, so whenever we get deliveries she quite likes to run out and say hello to the postman, which most of them are okay with, but just to be on the safe side we'd rather get a stable door in here. I'd love to build some storage in here, like a little bench where you can actually sit and put your shoes on. I'm thinking again some kind of beadboard paneling in here, maybe a prettier wall sconce, and then we'd like to box in the fuse box to hide that. And then on this side it will probably just be hooks for coats, but much higher, as Ro and I are very lanky people. Everything is quite small in this house. It's quite short, isn't it?
Yeah, small person house. It's like a hobbit house.
So we'd like to move this up, maybe a little welly boot rack, because we use our wellies pretty much every single day from September onwards. Okay guys, follow me upstairs. So we haven't actually touched the carpet since we moved in. Again, very bottom of the priority list at the moment. We would really like to put a runner going down the stairs, paneling all up here, and then at the top of the stairs we have this really beautiful squirrel wallpaper from Lucy and Annabelle. Another Facebook Marketplace find. I absolutely love it, so we'd like to get more of that and have that running all the way down the stairs, kind of into the living room behind the mirror. I'd also really like to put lots of photo frames going down the stairs, almost kind of like a gallery wall, but with photos of like us and the dogs and family and friends. I think that's one thing that our house is missing, is a lot of like personality. I find people don't really have many photos around houses anymore. I don't know, maybe that was like a 90s thing. Obviously everything's on our phone now. As much as we do like the glass, it does add in a lot of light. We would like to get rid of that because it's just too modern for what we want. We'd like to rip all of this out and put spindles in there, so again it's really cottagey. All the floors up here need changing. Again, this was just a very quick and easy wax and vinyl sheet flooring down, temporary fix because we knew we wanted to get a puppy. But we can't do the flooring until I've changed the floorboards because they're very noisy.
And very uneven.
Very uneven. Bathroom we haven't touched since we moved in. I think it's quite cute, but it's just not our style. Obviously the grey in here is very cool undertones, but we want a lot of warmth. So we want new windows. We'd like to rip this bath out and put a big walk-in shower in here with doors that you can close, because Willow hates to be bathed, so we need somewhere that we can just get in with her, hose her down. Job done. We'd also really love a new sink unit. Again, look how small that is.
Hobbit sink.
Hobbit sink.
Hobbit bathroom.
So we'd like to change this for a taller unit and one with storage underneath so that we can hide all of this rubbish. Really pretty mirror, maybe a wall sconce in here as well. And then I'd like to move the towel rail to a Victorian looking like floor standing radiator in there. I think that will look really beautiful. Flooring will be changed as well. I'd really like tile in here that runs into the shower. So yeah, lots to be done in here, but it's not really priority, is it?
Good enough for now.
It's good enough for now. Ice cream.
Ice cream!
Coming back into the hallway, same as downstairs, these are also Facebook Marketplace doors, but these ones didn't fit the doorways, so I cut it down and we haven't touched it since. So I need to fix that. This is just an airing cupboard at the moment that actually used to have a big water tank in here, and I would really love to do something with this, but for now it's functional, so we can just close that away, pretend it doesn't exist for now. Into the bedroom. This was one of the first rooms that we ever did when we moved in, so that we had somewhere nice to like retreat to. But we actually want to do all of this all over again. We put this wallpaper in, but I don't know whether it's because like the ceiling is plain, the curtains are cream, the rest of the walls are cream. It just feels very bland in here. I want a lot of colour, more texture. I want it to feel really dark and like cozy, so we're thinking of half paneling like all the way around, some darker wallpaper, maybe even the, you know, the granny wallpaper we have in the kitchen at the moment, because you won't see that once we've renovated the kitchen. Maybe we move that up here.
Proper granny hardcore.
This is the armchair that I was talking about earlier. It's actually covered in cat hair because baby has now adopted this as her bed.
Looks like a very, very hairy man has been sleeping there.
It does. We definitely need to put a little stool in there or something. Once this moves back downstairs, hopefully baby will sleep there and not bite my feet in the night. She usually sleeps on the end of the bed and bites my feet. I'd really love to get some patterned curtains in here, some artwork above the bed. I'd also really like to panel Rowan's wardrobes, paint them. I need to put a corner piece in here as well. We just pretend that gap doesn't exist. Which we do with a lot of things in this house. And then coming through to my room, this is also kind of like a storage space at the moment. This is stuff for the kitchen, like our new tap. Let me give you a sneak peek of the pendant lights for the kitchen. I love them. I think they match our blinds really nicely. And then we do have more doors for my wardrobes, but I actually need to cut them because they're going to go here and here. We kind of did this room very early on when we moved in, but we want to change a lot of things. It's quite a dark space because this room is north facing. We'd love to lighten it up with like a really pretty...
Like a baby blue, wasn't it?
Yeah, like a baby blue.
Your little princess room.
My little princess room, getting ready like a little Disney princess in the mornings. I want to change this radiator to a shorter one, put my desk or like a different desk over the radiator, really make the most of that natural light, have a mirror there, just kind of get ready there. Then with these two wardrobes, we're thinking of now selling these on or repurposing them. I'll kind of take them apart and then do some DIY thing because I'd love to build a Murphy bed along this wall so this space can also double up as a guest room. I feel like at the moment it is kind of wasted space. I literally get ready in here in the morning and then that's it. So it would be really nice to have like a multi-functional space. There's a lot of things in here I haven't finished since we moved in. Look at the state of that.
State of that. That's Hazel with her multi-tool making a right mess. Hello.
And then finally we have Rowan's room. We kind of got into the swing of this and then we just stopped. We then realised that we needed to change the floors and do a lot of stuff before I could completely finish this room. So we painted, we got some of the bookshelves in. I tried to do this really beautiful backing. Unfortunately, it really didn't stick to this. It did really well on the IKEA ones. But this one I think was it an Argos?
It was not IKEA, it was Facebook Marketplace to us as an IKEA Billy bookcase, but of course, me being me, when I went to pick it up, didn't realise that it was actually about a foot shorter than the ones we already had. So
it's definitely not a Billy bookcase. So I'd like to redo that, maybe in the same wallpaper, or we could potentially look at something else. But I want all of this to look built in, so I'm thinking trim down the front, doors on the bottom half, skirting board, coving along the top. I want this room to feel really like moody and luxurious. Quite different to the rest of the house actually. I feel like most of the house is quite cottagey.
a bit more like professional and Victorian almost.
Yeah, quite Victorian, like a moody Victorian office. We got this desk from Facebook Marketplace as an upcycle project, but then we decided against doing that, so we are going to change Rowan's desk out. I think you're going to have my electric one, aren't you?
I am.
And then I'll kind of build around it to make it look built in again, make it look really pretty, get a nice worktop going along so you've got plenty of space to work from. I'd really like to panel this wall because I got Rowan these funny portraits for Christmas. Of course, Willow had to be on the toilet. We then have one for baby,
one lady of the house,
and of course one for Solo,
my brave hero general.
So I'd love to put these up on the walls, like in each box, maybe with some kind of gallery light above them. I think that would be really pretty.
Definitely.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, that's just kind of there now. Works just fine. It's kind of quirky, I think.
I will fix it.
One day.
And then over in this corner, I'm thinking of upholstering like a really pretty cushion, maybe put some shelves in here, almost create like a little reading nook or like dog bed, because the dogs love to come and sit in here with Rowan while he's working during the day. So I'd love to make like a cute little dog bed here. I think that would look really pretty. So that is it. Thank you so much for joining us on our empty-ish house tour.
Halfway there.
Halfway there.
Quarter of the way there, house tour.
As you can see, we have a lot of plans, a lot to get through. So we thought we'd show you what it looks like now before we then do all of the work. So we can essentially do the renovations together. You can see it happening in real time.
It just means that you can follow along and see how the house evolves from what it currently is, which is a complete mess, into hopefully a beautiful cottage.
We can't afford a house in the Cotswolds, so we're making our own.
I'm going to make our own on the inside.
Lots to look forward to. But we're getting through it.
We are.
They say that relationships are tested during renovations. I think we're still going somewhat strong.
Still going strong.
We haven't fallen out just yet.
Not massively.
We'll see you in the next one, which hopefully will be a full kitchen renovation.